Hello friends, I am talking to CA final students of new syllabus for the subject of SCM and PE, that is Strategic Cost Management and Performance Evaluation. Today I am going to talk to you about a slight change in the formula of OEE, that is Overall Equipment Effectiveness. So there is a minor change made by the new module in the formula of OEE, Overall Equipment Effectiveness. I'm going to talk to you about that today. There was a demand from many students that please throw some light on this. For those to whom I am new, I am CA Rakesh Agrawal, the gold medalist in the subject of Cost and Management Accounting. First of all, this video is meant for those students who have already attended my batch either in live mode or Google Drive or pen drive, because they only can understand it better. Anyway, other students also can take the advantage of this video lecture, but it is mainly designed for my students who have studied with me this subject. Let's go ahead without wasting much time. Dear student friends, recently ICAI came out with the updated version of SCMP module called as November 2020 edition. This is the name of the new module released by the institute. The first reaction of the students community was that there is a change in syllabus again. What was the reaction of the students? That there is a change in syllabus. My dear friends, change in syllabus is different from updation of module. So I repeat, there is only an updation, there is no change in syllabus as such. So please take out that fear from your mind that the syllabus has undergone a change. Generally, the syllabus of costing, that is strategic cost management, doesn't change much, really speaking. So friends, don't worry, there is no change in syllabus, it is just an updation. It is just an updation of the module. Few new questions and a little part of theories added in the new module. Even some questions are deleted also, and previous errors are corrected. So my dear friends, updation is an ongoing process. So institute also carried out the updations based on the students' feedback and queries and about the errors in the previous module. Few questions from past examination or RTP they have added in this new module. And those who know, I have already posted on my website the details of all these changes which institute has made. I have made a PDF file giving chapter wise changes. In every chapter what changes or what updations institute has made. That PDF file is already available on my website. It was put there on the website long back to take care of your unnecessary worries about change of syllabus. No change of syllabus, only updation. And we had already covered it in our amendment batch notes earlier. So simply speaking, those students who have studied with me earlier, plus they have gone through the amendment batch, for them nothing much has changed, please remember. So don't worry about it. However, at one place there is a real change in the formula. It means at every other place there are only additions or deletions in questions and errors are rectified. But in real sense or in real amendment sense, there is only one change. And that change has taken place in chapter 3, which is Lean System and Innovation. That is the name of the chapter. And the topic in that chapter is Total Productive Maintenance, called as TPM. And under the subheading of TPM, there is a formula for calculation of OEE, Overall Equipment Effectiveness. So there is a small change. Now there is a slight change in the formula of availability ratio. Those who know this formula. Availability ratio. And availability ratio is required for calculation of OEE ratio. So change is only at one place, that is availability ratio. Those who remember what is OEE ratio, it consists of three ratios. Availability ratio multiplied by performance ratio multiplied by quality ratio. Anyway, I will be revising that. So OEE ratio is calculated as a multiplication of three ratios, and out of three ratios the change is only at one place, and that is in the availability ratio. Now the revised formula of availability ratio is, So I'm taking you to that revised formula where the change has taken place. Availability ratio changed formula is this. Numerator is actual operating time available. That is actual time available for you or for the machine to run. Divided by, here is the change. The denominator is planned production time. So actual operating time divided by planned production time into 100. Changes in the denominator. I'll highlight what that change is. So there is a slight modification in the denominator of the above formula. In the earlier module, the denominator was gross available time. This denominator earlier was gross time. And now in the revised module or in the latest module, the institute has put in the denominator planned production time. So planned production time has come in the denominator. Earlier it was gross available time. This is the only change. Change is only in one formula of availability ratio and only in the denominator. But due to this, the percentage means the answer will change. So earlier the denominator was gross available time. Now, as per the new module or revised module, the denominator is planned production time. Now naturally some of you will be thinking, what is this? We neither know gross time, neither we know planned time. Don't worry my dear friends, I'll take care of everything. I'll take you through an example also, don't worry. Now this is your change formula. The planned downtime, downtime is idle time. Planned downtime such as preventive maintenance, which has already been planned, that machine has to undergo the preventive maintenance. Then there are lunch breaks, so workers have taken lunch break or tea break during which they are not working, so machine is idle. It is machine's idle time. This idle time of machine is not regarded as loss of time as per the revised approach, because this time has to be spent, this time has to go. In short, this is normal idle time of machine. This normal idle time of machine is not considered as time lost, and that is being considered here while calculation of planned production time. We'll take an example to understand it, don't worry. It means planned downtime should be excluded while calculating planned production time. So here, while calculation of planned production time, we will exclude this because this is going to happen in normal cases. Earlier in the denominator we used to take entire time available, that is gross production time available earlier. Now we take only the planned production time, which is nothing but gross available time minus this planned downtime. So gross available time minus planned downtime, you will get planned production time. I'll take you further through an example. Now please note that there is no change in the remaining two formulae. Remaining two formulas are performance ratio and quality ratio, because there are three ratios required to calculate OEE. So performance ratio and quality ratio remains unchanged. Let's revise these formulae. In case if you have forgotten, I am revising these two formulas also where there is no change, but I am just taking you through a revision. So performance ratio where there is no change. Earlier formula also was this, now also it is this. Please remember, in performance ratio, the numerator is standard time required for actual output. Just like standard hours, you can say in standard costing, standard time required for actual output divided by actual time taken to produce the actual output, actual time which the workers have taken to run the machine. So standard time divided by actual time into 100, into 100 will convert it into percentage. Please remember dear friends, this performance ratio is nothing but an efficiency ratio. It means there are two names. Performance ratio is exactly same as efficiency ratio. Institute may use these two words interchangeably. Don't get worried, right? Both are one and the same. So it is efficiency ratio. Next is the quality ratio and OEE ratio. Both I will discuss. In both these ratios, there is no change in the formula. That is quality ratio and OEE ratio. Quality ratio is calculated as numerator number of units accepted by your quality control department. Means we call it as good units. When you calculate good units means you are excluding the units which are defective, which have certain defect and which are rejected by the quality control department. So remove that, and whatever good units or acceptable units you have produced, take those units in the numerator divided by total number of units produced by the machine. So denominator is total units, numerator is only the good units which are accepted by quality control department. And OEE ratio, that is overall equipment efficiency or effectiveness, is this. OEE ratio is a multiplication of three ratios, that is availability ratio into performance ratio into quality ratio. This is just for revision purpose. So in this entire set of the ratios, where there was a change only in the availability ratio, and the change was only in the denominator, my dear friends. Let's go further. We'll take an example so that your concepts will become crystal clear. So through an example. So I have picked up one example. Kiwi Limited manufactures automobile spare parts. A 12-hour shift is scheduled. Please remember the shift is of 12 hours. Means the workers will be working for 12 hours. So a 12-hour shift is scheduled to produce a spare part. Some spare part in Kiwi Limited as shown in the schedule below. The shift means this 12-hour shift has 3 15 minutes break. So in 12 hour you have given the worker 15 minutes, 3 breaks and a 10-minute cleanup period. To clean up the machine there will be a 10-minute break. Means 10-minute break is given only once to clean the machine, and 15 minutes break is given to the workers thrice in a 12-hour shift. Now production schedule is given for an automated machine NZ10, that is just a code name of the machine, not very important. Now see the information which is given for this 12-hour schedule. Please remember the production schedule is for one shift of 12 hours. Cycle is given 10 seconds. Now you have to understand this is the production cycle. What it means? That in 10 seconds the machine produces 1 unit. That is the meaning. Institute may not print this in the exam. They will not print this sentence which I have printed. It is the standard time required for 1 unit. This I have printed or I have put for clarification. In the institute's literature, they had only printed cycle 10 seconds. And what is that? What is the meaning of that? That it is the standard time required for producing 1 unit. It means machine takes 1 cycle of 10 seconds and 1 unit gets produced. So 1 unit is produced by the machine after every 10 seconds, which is the standard set for this machine. Is that clear? Please remember it is not 10 minutes, it is 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, 1 unit is expected to be produced. That is the standard time for 1 unit. Spare parts manufactured in that one shift of 12 hours, you have actually manufactured 3,360 units in 12 hours. Out of these 3,360 units manufactured, 75 units are scrapped, means they are rejected by quality control department. They are not of good quality. Unplanned downtime. This downtime was not planned by you. So due to some other reason, other unforeseen or unexpected reason, there was a machine downtime of 36 minutes. Please remember, this is unplanned downtime. And these breaks, 3 breaks of 15 minutes and 1 break of 10 minutes, this is a planned downtime. That is the difference. The breaks and cleanup break was planned. But what was not planned, that was this 36 minutes. It might have happened due to either power failure or due to non-availability of raw material or due to any other reason which was not planned. We generally call it as abnormal idle time also. Right? So it is unplanned downtime. And you are required to calculate OEE. My dear friends, either you remember this information or you may quickly take it down on a piece of paper, because once I go ahead for the answer, you'll have to refer this data from the question. So you need to refer this data. So I'm waiting for a few seconds. Either you may take down this data or put it in the memory. Please remember the shift is of 12 hours. That will provide us the gross availability of time. Planned downtime is 3 15 minutes break and 1 10 minutes cleanup break. This is planned downtime. Unplanned downtime is 36 minutes. Right? Cycle time is 10 seconds. That is standard time to produce 1 unit. Actual number of units produced are 3360, out of which 75 units are rejected, that is a scrap. I hope you are able to keep this data in mind, or you have taken it down on a piece of paper. So I am moving ahead to the answer, to the solution. In that solution we will be using this data, so we will need this data. Should I go ahead, my dear friends? Assuming you have remembered or taken down this information. Okay, I am taking you ahead. Let's go to the solution now. The solution as per the revised formula or changed formula. We'll first calculate the time which is available for us. Available time, then production time, and actual operating time, that is actual time for which we have actually worked in a shift. We are doing entire of this calculation for one shift because the data is given for one shift of 12 hours. Let's go. Particulars. Please remember, I am converting all the data in minutes. It means hours data also I will convert into minutes, and seconds data also I will convert into minutes. So I am converting all of them into minutes, a common denominator for calculation purpose. Total available time in one shift is 720 minutes. You will say how it has come. If you have taken down that data, one shift was of 12 hours. So 12 hours is how many minutes? So it is here. The shift was of 12 hours. 12 hours multiplied by 60 minutes. So you will get total available time was 720 minutes. This is also known as gross available time. 720 minutes is also known as gross available time. That is total time. Less planned downtime. The downtime which you had planned for. If you remember, there are 3 breaks of 15 minutes. So 3 planned breaks, that is 3 breaks of 15 minutes each. It means 45 minutes has gone. Then a cleanup period or cleanup break was there. It was only 1 break for cleanup of machine, that was of 10 minutes. This is what you had already planned. So 720 minutes minus 45 and minus 10 will give you planned production time per shift. 665 is planned production time. This is what you need to calculate. Those who still remember what I had discussed, the availability ratio. In the availability ratio, the new denominator is this. The earlier denominator was this. Earlier in the denominator for availability ratio, we used to take gross time, that is 720 minutes, but this is now been cancelled. So now the denominator will be 665 minutes. This is the change. And we go further. Less unplanned downtime, which is given in the question as 36 minutes, and therefore actual operating time per shift is 629. This is already planned production time. From this unplanned downtime or idle time is 36 minutes. If you cancel that, actually you have worked for 629 minutes in one shift of 12 hours. Again, dear friends, either you have taken down this data or kept it in the memory, because I am going ahead where I will be using this data. Now, if you recall the formula of availability ratio will be this in the numerator and this in the denominator. That is actual operating time 629 divided by planned production time 665. This will give you the availability ratio. And if you go by the older formula from the previous module, then this is your numerator and this was your denominator earlier, which has gone now. So let's go to the solution. Availability ratio, that is actual operating time available in the numerator divided by planned production time into 100. Now actual operating time we had calculated just now, that is 629 minutes divided by, this is the change here. So the denominator now is 665 minutes. That is planned production time into 100. If you use the calculator, it works out to be 94.59% approximately, right? Note, if we would have gone by old method, it means in my earlier versions or in my earlier classroom discussion, I must have gone by the method which was printed in module. So what we would have taken in the denominator? Gross time. So as per earlier formula, if I go, numerator will remain the same, 629 minutes, that is actual operating time. But this denominator was gross time earlier. So here I have taken gross time, that is 720 minutes. So using earlier approach, denominator was 720 minutes. And as per that, if I go, the answer will be 87.36%. Are you getting it? 629 divided by 720. So earlier was this, now is this. And now this is wrong. It means this ratio is now wrong as per updated module. So correct answer is this, 94.59%. Now you will notice the ratio has improved. If I go by old method, the ratio is 87.36%, but as per new method, the ratio will become 94.59%. Now why the ratio has improved? Because denominator has decreased, denominator has gone down. Earlier the denominator was gross time. From gross time, we deducted planned downtime to get planned production time. So denominator has reduced, and if denominator decreases, naturally the ratio increases or improves. So ratio will improve now. So it means under the new method, availability ratio has improved because we have ignored the planned and unavoidable downtime in the calculation of denominator. So denominator has decreased and therefore ratio has increased. I repeat, this is correct as per revised module. This is now wrong. Don't go by this approach. So those students who have studied with me earlier, they will change all the questions or all the answers of OEE question. Whatever questions we have solved in the classroom on calculation of OEE, please change the denominator only in availability ratio and you will get the revised answer of availability ratio, and you will also get the revised answer of OEE ratio. So now in the denominator, you will take planned production time. So all the students who have already studied with me, please make those suitable changes in all the answers of calculation of OEE. Go by the revised approach now. Now I'll just complete the entire question. Performance ratio, which is also efficiency ratio. There is no change in formula, but I'm just completing that example. The formula is numerator standard time required for actual output divided by actual time taken for actual output into 100. Now remember that standard time was 10 seconds to produce 1 unit. That is cycle time. It means you are expected to produce 1 unit in 10 seconds. Now check the numerator. We have actually produced 3360 units. It is given to you in the question and you have written it down on a piece of paper. 3360 units are actually produced and each unit should take 10 seconds. So 3360 into 10 seconds will give you total standard time required for actual output. But it is in seconds, so I have to divide it by 60. Divided by 60 will convert into minutes because our other data was in minutes. So I am converting standard time given in seconds into minutes by dividing it by 60. This is your numerator. And denominator is actual time. Actual time for which you have worked is 629 minutes as per our first working. So standard time is this, numerator converted into minutes. Denominator actual time was already given to or already calculated by us as 629 minutes. Now you can do the calculation. The numerator value comes to 560. This calculation comes to 560 minutes divided by 629 minutes multiplied by 100. Just do it on the calculator. And I hope I have done it correctly. You will get the answer 89.03%. So 89.03% is your performance ratio or also called as efficiency ratio. This is unchanged. Now we go to the third ratio, that is quality ratio. The formula of quality ratio is in the numerator you have number of units accepted. Number of units accepted means good units. Good units divided by number of units produced. That is total units produced. Naturally out of total how many you are accepting means what is the quality of your production, what percentage quality you are having. So in numerator what I will do, we had actually produced 3360 units. 3360 minus 75 units were scrapped if you remember. means not accepted by quality control department. So 3360 minus 75, you will get good units. Divided by total units produced are 3360 only into 100. Now use the calculator, get the answer. So numerator divided by denominator into 100. I think you would have got the answer by now on your calculator. Otherwise you have to trust me that the answer is 97.77%. So your quality is 97.77%. It means rejection is remaining percentage, that is 100% minus 97.77%. So you are able to produce with this much percentage quality. Okay. Now we'll have to multiply all the three ratios to get the final answer, and that is OEE. So overall equipment effectiveness ratio is availability ratio into performance ratio into quality ratio is equal to. These are all three percentages which we have calculated individually. Now on some of the calculators, even if you type like this only, you will get the answer. It means if you type 94.59 and you press percentage button, multiplied by 89.03 percentage button, multiplied by 97.77% button. Some of the calculators will give the correct answer even if you press the percentage button every time. You will get the correct answer. But I have seen that some of the calculators doesn't give the correct answer if you keep pressing the percentage button. Some of the calculators don't give the correct answer. So if your calculator is not giving you the correct answer, then go by this approach. Convert this percentage into decimal. The answer divided by 100 will get converted into decimals, you know. So I am rewriting 94.59% as 0.9459. This I am rewriting as 0.8903. And this I am rewriting as 0.9777. For some of the calculators which do not give the correct answer, convert it into decimal and then multiply. So now you multiply all these three values in decimals. You will get the value in decimal as 0.8234, and 0.8234 is nothing but 82.34%. Some people will directly get this answer from this step, and some people or some calculator who are not getting the correct answer, they will go by this step. So you just check your own calculator and try any of the approaches, and some of the calculators will give you the correct answer by both the approaches. So no problem at all. Either go by a first step or directly jump to the second step. So no problem. The answer is 82.34% is the answer of your OEE ratio, overall equipment effectiveness. And if you remember, 85% ratio is considered to be the world standard. It means very good. OEE ratio 85% is known as world class performance. Acceptable performance is between the range 50% to 85% is the acceptable range. 85% is the best performance or world class performance. Friends, I hope this discussion was useful to you and it will help you to update yourself. Thank you, my dear friends, for watching this video and for your patient listening. You may share this video with your other friends who have studied with me earlier and they wanted an updation on OEE ratio. So you may share this with other friends. You may like it, right? If you really like the video. Okay, friends, wish you all the best.